Dear Renee, COVID-19. This is the pandemic that changed the world and brought it into lockdown. Everyone was uncertain about what was to come and how the world would change. Because of its major impact on the world, it has changed who you are today and who you will be for the rest of your life. So what happened? And who were you before? And what was it like before, during, after the pandemic? In school? Well, here's that answer. Before COVID happened, school was basically what you see in movies, with everyone being close together, a lot of paper pencil use in the classroom. We really only used computers during our computer specials. There were smart boards and teaching in front of the students. You could go to any sporting events and go out in public without being stopped. My brother and I would go out together and go shopping at the local mall and Walmart for fun. All classes were in person, and if you were absent, you just had to make up the work when you got back, or if someone brings it to you at your house, like if your parents come pick it up, or in my case, my brother always had to. I enjoyed going to school since elementary and loved learning all the way up until junior year of high school. I did learn to love school once I got to college, and I started learning about becoming a teacher though. When COVID shut down the schools on March 12th, 2020, for 3 weeks they said, I was a junior in high school and watched the news at the end of the day in the band room. I played clarinet. That day was full of uncertainty, but also excitement. We would be off from school for 3 weeks and just have to complete assignments online and turn it in by the due date. It turns out those 3 weeks turned into the rest of the school year. When the break started, we just had to complete assignments and turn them in by the due date. Some of the teachers would record videos of them teaching, while most of mine just posted assignments and papers to read. As the break continued, the school transferred to having Zoom or Google Meet lessons during our actual class period times. This was both good and bad, because while I was being held responsible for my work, my brother also had a study hall when I was having class, and he would practice piano despite him knowing I am in class on Zoom. I also learned that I disliked online classes where we wouldn't meet, because I learned best from direct instruction. All sporting events were canceled, including our spring musical Oliver, where I was to play Charlotte. This is when I started to feel hesitant about people being sick and worried it was COVID. Today I still hold a bit of hesitance when someone tells me they're sick, especially one of my students in my field placements that I'm currently attending. It wasn't until the end of my first semester, or starting my second semester, that masks were no longer required to wear on campus. Around this time, slowly the world was recovering from COVID-19 and vaccines were being widespread administered. A lot of public places required masks still, but a lot were opening back up. Since the lockdown required students to have access to technology to be able to complete assignments from home, schools pushed for technology to be a part of the main instruction in schools. Students didn't have to social distance anymore, but were still advised to stay home if sick, just to be safe. May 11th of 2023 was when the CDC officially announced that the COVID-19 pandemic had officially ended. The vaccines and testings are still available, since this is still a virus that exists but has been lessened. Schools ended up back to normal, but with technology in full swing and teachers trying to catch up on what COVID took for them, education. A lot of students were falling behind in their education due to COVID shutting down schools during the pandemic, and now that all schools were up and running, they had to teach students material from previous years to get them up to grade level. This is on top of students who were already behind when the pandemic started. I have been in 3 different classrooms, and 2 of them use Chromebooks every single day, with the third one being a preschool where they focus on students just playing. Even I have been using technology more than I did before the pandemic. I'm always waiting for something similar to happen again and wondering how I would handle again. From 2024, Renee.